Morning, 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 guys. Morning, afternoon, good night, good night. Hello, welcome, welcome. I gotta come on here and do a review, okay? I gotta come and do a review of opening Carnival. Let me just turn on my volume a little bit. Of opening of Carnival 2025. I'm just checking out some stuff here. Let's go, let's go. How are you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Hope you were able to wake up this morning. Bonjour, 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 bonjour. Let's see this. Let's see this. I want to pull this back up. Let's pull this back up. So we're gonna be doing a review of this. Let's see. I'm gonna do a review. I'm gonna do a review. I'm gonna be doing a review of Carnival. I could do two things here this morning there. What's up, guys? It's Sunday, and it is a new day. And yesterday was opening of Carnival. I ran a poll, and about 200 of you voted in the poll. So thank you very much for those of you who voted in the poll. I truly appreciate you showing your support and wanting to get the review of Carnival. So we're about to do this. So come on in, come on down, share the live one time. Share the live so we can get this show on the road. I don't want to be here too long, so the quicker you share the live, the quicker we get this show going, the quicker we can talk about the review, the quicker we can get through the events of yesterday. So those of you who don't know, I went to the opening of Carnival yesterday. That was the 18th of High Sugars. The 18th of January was the opening of Carnival. Let's see. All right, so I ran a poll yesterday asking if folks wanted. One of the things that people have been asking me to do is to try and introduce video into the reviews. One of the things is that I cannot promise you that I will always be able to give you a video when I do the reviews. If I can, I can. If I can't, like yesterday, I went out feeling like I was well prepared to record and be able to capture some footage for y'all and give it to y'all in a review. But so I bought, like, I actually invested in a DJI Pro Pocket um, Mini, and figured the thing was charged, not realizing that when my son used it at our last event, that he didn't charge it, and that thing takes so short of a time to charge. It literally takes like 20 minutes to be fully charged, and the thing was dead. When I opened up the thing for me to use it, it was dead. It would have made this such an easier process. I had to end up using my phone, and at some point my phone died, and it was a whole rated thing. But I said, you know what? I'll pull some stuff together for you guys, and I will let you guys get a bird's eye view of how things were going during the opening of Carnival. I'm not going to be talking about it frame by frame. It's just going to be running in the back, so you can get a sense of what I was seeing from my viewpoint, or my vantage point, I should say. Um, if you were at Carnival opening yesterday, let me know in the comment section. Drop a note. Let me know that I was at Carnival opening, and I would love to hear. Hi, Edgar. Edgar says I'm here for the review. I'm here. Share the live, so we can get this show started. Um, Share the live quickly, so we can get this show on the road. All right. So I see. Let me just check this out. All right. So yeah. So I was at opening of Carnival, and as you know, this opening of Carnival was probably one of the was done differently. So hi guys, thank you guys, thank you those of you who are logging on. Share the live, share the live. It was done differently than it's been done in previous years. When I say previous years, like the most recent couple of years. So one of the things, first of all, to kind of give you guys some context in terms of why I may not be able to speak on every single thing. When I say may not be able to speak on every single thing, oh, that's fantastic for Olive. I wasn't actually there from the start of when the parade began. And the reason for this is that I am helping with one of the teens for teenage pageant, and I could not be there at the start because I literally drop off and then had to like go home to get ready, get me ready, get my kids ready. So here I am thinking like the children want to come and come opening of Carnival, and I come home to prepare them so we can go to open up Carnival. They get dressed and stuff. They had showered and everything, so I just got them dressed. By the time I we reach in town, so first of all, one of the things that I don't know, this is probably going to be a serious problem very soon. Um, I don't know how serious people see it or people seriously people are taking it. I was listening to the radio while I was actually coming into town. So I was listening to Carry FM, so I had a sense of where the route was. So big up to Vanessa Bruno. One time, Carry FM was carrying the broadcast, and they were carrying it. There was a visual as well as the audio. So I was listening to it, and thanks, Catherine, for sharing and tagging. And so I was listening, so I knew exactly where the parade was. My issue, one of the issues that I found coming into town after, first of all, when I let me rewind a little bit. When I got to the parade initially, for the parade was scheduled to start at 3 p.m. and the route would take us from Pottersville into Roseau, along Independence Street, going down King George the Fifth Street, and then across the Bayfront, and then back up Kennedy Street, Kennedy Avenue to end. So they would end in the stadium. The stadium. Now, when when I got into town, the first thing I recognized, okay, so I'm coming in from the let's say I'm coming in from north. So I'm coming in through Deepwater Harbor. And when we get to Deepwater Harbor, there's instantly a traffic diversion. And I know this was done specifically for the opening of Carnival. So I don't think that it will be an issue moving forward because we have Carnival coming up in just about 2 months. However, once the traffic diverted, it took you up and then around down into the city by way of the back road that leads into Roseau, the roundabout, which is right around behind the stadium, and then back around the stadium. The problem I found is that like there was no place to park. Like parking was like horrible. Like I felt like I went around in circles like at least 4 times. And it's not that I want to park somewhere close. I did not really care to park somewhere close for to go check out the parade. But I was just kept wondering like where are people parking? Like, am I doing something wrong? Like am I because I just couldn't figure it out. Like I was just going around and around and around and around in circles, like probably at least 4 times. I went around, if not more. It probably was more than that because in between that, I was watching online to actually see the what was going on, to see what was going on Carry FM. But I just felt like, oh my God, like where are people parking? Then I saw people like one time I passed right by the stadium, like on Bath Road, and I saw people having like moving the rail guards that was placed there by the police so they can enter into that, they can park. I mean, obviously that is not a legal thing to do, and I don't recommend it. But it just seemed like people were getting a bit desperate because there was no place to park, and that's one of the things that I think we need to look at very seriously when we're going to be, especially with Carnival right around the corner, when we're going to have a lot of visitors coming in. Like, where do people park? Like, maybe a sign for probably clear up. I know this has not been used for a while, like the Pottersville Savannah has not been used for a while. That could probably be a place where they could set up even paid parking, like make people pay whatever it is for them, because it was just so difficult. Like, I would have walked from there into Roseau because it's not a long walk, right? It was just like I was getting really frustrated, and as a Dominican, getting frustrated, especially I know the streets. I can only anticipate what visitors are going to be feeling or experiencing when they do come into Dominica. Like, I went wrong and wrong. Eventually, at some point, I parked illegally somewhere. Yes, I did. I parked illegally. I'm not going to say where. I'm not going to say where, but I parked because I was getting frustrated. I kept going wrong and wrong, and I couldn't find parking. And at that point, it's 4:30, and one of the things is that it was raining like profusely. Like, I cannot remember the last time I went to an opening of Carnival where we had rain like this. Normally, opening of Carnival have bright sunshine. However, I just really, when I came down, when I came on the road, and I was actually, my first interaction with the bands and people in costumes and all of that was near the corner of Independence Street and Kennedy Avenue, which is where I literally stood the entire time. And the very first thing I saw on there was the flag wavers, the National Bank wavers. Let me tell you, the National Bank flag wavers had some little girls, and I didn't have my phone ready because again I was trying to get that DJI pocket to work and realizing that the thing was dead. And by the time I got, by the time I got to figuring out that, hey, it's not working, because you're watching, I'm paying attention, trying to pay attention to it, plus people calling me, people saying hi and whatnot. I was just, I mean, at some point I was just like, oh my god, like, those kids were so beautiful. They had the little kids in the front in the pom poms, and I wish I got that. And they were dancing, and they were, they were really having a good time. I really, that was like the very first thing I saw. As soon as you can see, I'm standing like at the corner of Kennedy Avenue and Independence Street. Yeah, Independence Street. So I am getting super excited because, like, that really for me, it just set the pace. So big up, yeah, already say big up to Crystal Fagan and her team, because let me tell you, those kids had energy. Imagine there was a dead something in the road, and they're showing dancing so hard they shouldn't even see that there was a dead something in the road the entire time. So one thing to note is I came out late. I got there late. Parking did not help. So by the time I got there, what would have been, essentially, I should have been able to see like all of the different floats coming in. I did not get to see that. I was watching it. When I say see it, I didn't get to see it in person. I was watching it online while, going around looking and stuff for parking, but I didn't get to see it when I got there. The time I really got to see it was when they were coming in at the end of the route before they cross over Kennedy Avenue and they go into the stadium. That is where I go. So you guys will get to see the footage of that. So that is something to note. The people on the road, massive representation. Like people came out, you could tell people really wanted to see opening of Carnival. People really was there to enjoy opening of Carnival. Share the life, guys. Yes, those kids and their outfits, they were on point. Like they were cute. They were all really nicely they had their little shiny. Let me see if I can go back to it for you. They had their little shiny outfits, their little pieces. See, that's one of them in it. And they had the I guess the troop leaders or the people, the ones in charge, had their t-shirts with white shorts, and I think they had matching Converse. I think more than likely they had matching Converse. My girl Tamantha was in the thing, and let me tell you, they were definitely having a blast. They were having a good time. Look at the coordination, right? Those kids were coordinated, just doing a really good job. And in like the little ones, the little ones with the pom poms were so cute and stuff. Like my girl Tamantha, you know how we do, right? And she was really having a good time. She was really having, she was really having a good time. So they really gave you energy and really showed you, that Carnival had opened. Like that was a really fantastic spectacle. Like to view, it looked really nice. Even from being on the ground, I can only imagine those who were sitting on the top, looking down at it. It really looks beautiful. So yeah, so let me just get you into. So at that point now, where I'm standing is the expectation is that people are going to be coming from Kennedy Avenue because they would have gone through the Bayfront. Now, let us make note of certain things. So, certain things you want to note. There was a ship in port. Now, if you live in Dominica, if you're from Dominica, if you know anything about when there's a cruise ship in port, it's already chaotic in terms of what is going on in the city because everything kind of has to divert out of the bayfront. So now we have so little access to things. But I love the fact that there was a ship in port because it got the people on the I guess the ship people on the ship got to experience Carnival, opening of Carnival in Dominica. And let me tell you, the ship don't move. That ship did not move until everything was done. Okay, those folks, saw a lot of the tourists. As a matter of fact, some of them standing next to me were actually on the ship at one point, and they were saying how this is so beautiful, this is so exciting, this is so like they had their cameras out, they were filming. I mean, it was just a really nice moment. So I want to first of all y'all to note that the bands came out this year, or the people floats, I should say, came out this year in large numbers. If it didn't, if you see we didn't have rain, let me tell you that would have probably been the best opening of Carnival I had ever seen in a very long time. There were very little to no breaks between floats. The floats were moving really quickly. The only thing I noticed is that I don't know what was going on at the bottom, but or if it was just the length of the floats and they didn't anticipate that there was going to be so many floats and to time it in a way that once the end of the float had left Kennedy and Independence, that the start of the floats would be coming up. So at one point, what happened is that float meet float. Let me tell you, like right at the cross section, people were still coming into town. Floats were still coming into town, and floats need to cross the street to go up the bayfront, to go up to the Windsor Park Stadium. That was crazy. Like, I must commend the police in terms of how they were directing. So they would have to stop the floats that are coming in at one point to let a float pass through, a couple floats pass through, so they can go to the end, which is the stadium. And that in itself was crazy, to see happening. There were so many different representation on the road. We saw the obviously the Carnival Queen contestants, the teenage pageant contestants, the princess, those who actually won. We saw Calypso King Dice. We saw the Queen, the reigning Miss Dominica, Kiana Dyer. We saw the And you recognize me. We saw sense. Let me tell you, there were so many senses on the road. We saw Lapo Cabwit, we saw Balmove, we saw the flag wavers. There was the floats, the businesses. Like I saw probably every business in Dominica had a float. The businesses came out, they were giving out, really nice, giving out little gifts, little trinkets, little promotional memorabilia and paraphernalia. And it was just a hype session. My sister is there, and my sister is really guiding me along this. But I really want to say big up to DFC for how things flow, because things were flowing. I mean, you could tell that there was a lot of thought put into getting the floats to have like a certain time so that there was no gaps. Like you were just in the moment enjoying. The longest there was a gap was when they were waiting for police presence to be right at that corner. So when from me standing there from the beginning, the police was there. There were like two cops, like two police officers right at that intersection. But at some point, I suspect they had to get more officers to come when the floats were about to diverge. That way they could, at the intersection, they were able to manage traffic and manage people on both sides of the road, because literally that's what they had to do. They had to clear up a section from Kennedy Avenue. They had to clear up on Independence Street. And when I tell you clear up, on all sides, so that the floats could pass. And that was probably the longest, really, really break that there was, waiting for that to happen. And then you could tell that they were trying to figure it out. You could tell that they were there trying to figure it out. So I was there standing and watching and saying, like they tried to figure it out. But I want to big up the police for using their brain, and they really made it work. They really, the timely manner in which the floats were going through that intersection was really good. It accommodated for the floats that were coming up and still floats coming into town. So let's get into where I felt. So people are saying big up. They are big up to Marva and the entire DFC. Don't forget, tomorrow Marva is coming on my show. We're going to be talking to her. We're not talking about her role, but we're going to be talking about her life and stuff. So just giving a shameless plug. I also want to big up my sponsor, which is my business, Black Island Girl, for putting this together. Big up to Black Island Girl. You can shop Black Island Girl for your merchandise. So just log on to blackislandgirl.com/shop. You can get your mugs and all the different merchandise. All right. I actually got I got a slippers. You already see Gerald George from, let me show you, Gerald George from Heineken gave me a slippers, and let me tell you, not no cushiony slippers. I have it on my foot also. I tried to take it out of my foot so I can show all you. I got a slippers. Let me tell all you. Look at it. I got a slippers. I got a slippers on the road. Right there. There's some really nice things given away. So big up to all of the people who are on the road. I got a nice slippers to be. I like the to be friends. So Gerald George, I wear in your slippers you give me, okay? Big up to you one time. A lot of the businesses were out and really looking beautiful. One of the things I noted was that a lot of businesses came out not just on their floats, but they had like a really big staff presence. So we saw the whole Save a Lot, not Save a Lot, Best Price crew. They were there with so many of their staff who were on the road. We saw a huge presence of Archipelago. I saw a huge presence of Esma. Like there was just a huge presence of folks on the road who are businesses, who are supporting the opening of Carnival. My girl Curvy, of course. Somebody tell me I walk in with my trainer. Whenever I see her, I try to stick close to her so she can keep me in check, so I cannot, I don't drink any rum or, just kidding. So I want to get into what I thought were the best, so I can wrap this up. So the best for me, and again, that was from my vantage point, viewing this at the end. So I spoke about the route. The music was amazing. Like people were like the music. There were what I really liked, and I hope we get to see that during Carnival. Is like every couple of floats there was like a hi-fi with a DJ on it. So I saw DJ Rems, I saw DJ Shacks, I saw DJ Drix. Like there were a lot. I saw Snow. There were a lot that presence, which was really well done. So I just really want to. There was never a lull in music. I mean, if I put up my audio for y'all, you will see like every single time. And I'm gonna put up my audio because I'm gonna pause the music, the song that's playing in the back, and put up the audio. Like all of the music, you can see how there was never a lull. There was never a lull during the entire parade, right? So that is like just the music that was going on the road. In terms of the floats, I spoke about that. In terms of the giveaways, I spoke about that. One of the things I absolutely loved is that they they chose this opening to not have those long speeches at the end. You remember them kind of long mama speeches that they used to give at the end? This was really a time to really showcase our carnival, or the floats, the bands, the princesses, the people who are going to be represented during the carnival season. It was really just a spectacle, and I absolutely love that they did not have those long mama, those long mama speeches that they used to have that used to get on my nerves. That I did not see that happen. I don't know if it happened on the Bayfront, because on the Bayfront, when I went around and went to the Bayfront, I noticed that there was a big stage there. But I'm guessing, because I wasn't viewing, those of you viewing can probably correct me. I'm guessing that they were making some of the presenters in terms of the floats, the people on the float, to come up and probably do a little parading on there, because it didn't look like a thing that was set up for people to talk. It looked like it was set up for, because it reminded me, and I'll tell you exactly what it reminded me of. It reminded me of Miami Carnival. When they have the actual carnival, they have a section where people come up and they climb up the stage and they parade on top, and then they go down the other way, and that they make all their lava, and that's where they essentially judge. That's what it reminded me of. So I absolutely loved that was there. So we spoke about the no long speech. It really represented our culture in every form that I could think of. Like I was absolutely like mesmerized by a lot of the stuff that was going on. It made you, imagine, guys. All you realize, let me see if I can turn on the volume on. All you realize that Carnival is still in March. Like Carnival is still in March, and I felt like shit. Carnival happening like in a couple of weeks, because I was talking to a lady and they saying, "But still March, we have to wait." I'm like, yes, still March. There are going to be events happening, and the events are spread out nicely, so you get to go to all of the different shows and experience Carnival and experience everything Carnival has to offer. It was just really, really beautiful to see. I really, really enjoyed being on the road. So while I was on the road, obviously, I have to take notes and make notes of what I thought would be the best, in my opinion. And this is my opinion strictly. Obviously, some of my biases might come into play, but this was my opinion. All right. So in looking at all of the floats that were passing by, I recognized who had the most beautiful floats, who I felt was the best dressed, who I felt had the baddest band, who I felt had the hypest floats, who I felt was the biggest band. So I was taking note of those things. For me, the most beautiful presentation on that road was the National Bank of Dominica flag wavers. They presented. For me, that was the most beautiful presentation. When it comes to presenting, that was it for me. In terms of the the baddest band or the baddest float or the baddest presentation, I'm not sure what their name was, but it was the band Color Armor was in. They looked like they were a bunch of band movie in black. Let me tell you, the people come imagine Color come and kiss me and all my mouth was black, right? Then people they were all in black, I guess in charcoal or whatever they put on their body. And I felt that was I love the senses. Oh my god, there were so many senses, so many groups had senses on the incorporated in their thing, which was so beautiful. So many little children in senses. Like I was so impressed because I remember when I was a child, I was so afraid of sensei. I used to be afraid, especially the ones that used to have they used to take the tinsel and put it on their head and put the two big horns. I used to be terrified of those things. But as I grew up, I seen little children in that with them, and I was so impressed to see that. So that was in terms of the bodies, the most hardcore. I give Color Armor. I don't know the name of your band, but that is who I would give it to. In terms of the most beautiful float, I'm going to have to give it to Do It Center. Do It Center had that was in there with their sponsor for the Miss Twin Pine. That is the band I was talking about. The Move one. Look, color in it. That is it. That is the one I was talking about. Let me tell all you that couple had me on the ground, right? They had me on the freaking ground. So I was on the most beautiful float. Do It Center had they had their contestants coming out of paint. Like, so she was in a paint can. They had fuel coming out of paint containers. It was very beautiful. I'm not going to lie. It was beautifully done. I absolutely love to see how the presentation of it. It was just very nicely done. For me, the best, the biggest band on the road. Wait, did I say the most hype float? Let me say the most hype float for me was the Dasper one. The Dasper float. Let me tell you something. When the Dasper float came close to us, I thought the float was going to fall on us. Then people, the Minister of Tourism was at the top of the float, and there were other people on the float and stuff, and that float was bumping. When I tell you bumping, like I thought it was going to fall on us. They were definitely hyped. They were definitely like having a good time. For me, that was the hypest float. The most beautiful or the best dress, I should say, the best dress people. I was kind of torn, so I'm going to give the best dress grown up and the best dress young person or child. So the best dress grown up for me was Miss Dominica. Miss Dominica had the half sensei. Now y'all know, if y'all know, I've been following me for years. Y'all know I used to have with Dr. Gilda Nesty, who's also on the live. We used to have a band called Master Sass, where we had half. We actually won awards for band. We had half the sensei, so we used the sensei bottoms, and we did different things with the top. And that was her outfit, and she was styled by Belanois, and she was looking gorgeous. Miss Dominica is a stilt walker, so I was absolutely impressed to see that she was representing the stilt walkers who were also in the sensei, the traditional sensei. And that is something that we are known for in Dominica, is our sensei, and how do we represent our sensei. And she was looking gorgeous. Best dressed young person for me was hands down Gabrielle Esprit. Gabrielle was looking like a flower coming out of the bush. Like, she looked absolutely stunning. She had the fresh market umbrella just covered in flowers, and all around her was flowers. She looked gorgeous. She definitely looked like she was blooming, right? Very, very, very beautiful. Somebody said, Jael, I wish we were looking online. What we saw, because watching from online, it was very disappointing. I'm so sorry, Queen of Sheba. And again, that is something that I've always said, and I will continue to say, that when it comes to some of the productions online, they're not the best. And I mean, who the hell am I now to talk about productions online? But production on the ground was looking good. Production on the ground was looking good, and that is the thing. I've recognized this year after year. We place a lot of emphasis in what goes on the ground, and we forget that we also cater to people online, right? And when I say we cater to people online, it's not just showing the live aspect of what's going on, because you cannot honestly feel and understand what's going on just by seeing the live. Because when there are lags between it, you're going to have issues and you're going to be like, but what's going on? Right? So that is somewhere that we need to step up our game in terms of production and how we produce our content for people on outside to actually view. We need to step up our game. All right. So two things I noted. Let me. Oh, I don't finish before I get. Let me. Gonna come back to that. Let me just finish with the best, because I was reading the comments and I got distracted and I had to respond. The biggest ban on the road. When I say the biggest ban in terms of music ban, we had two bands on the road, and it was between Triple K and I did see CK on the road as well. I saw CK on the road. I saw Triple K on the road. I saw Ace not Ace. I saw Signal on the road. Me personally, in terms of the biggest band award to the people, the band with the most people behind it, hands down Signal band. Signal band took it. I thought Triple K was gonna take it, but Signal Band took it. You know, I'm a diehard Triple K, so I was waiting for the Triple K, and I think a lot of people were waiting for Triple K on the Bayfront too. But hands down, when Signal passed in that intersection, they had the biggest crowd behind them. Hands down, Signal Band took it. So going back so I gave you guys a little rundown, and I can repeat it just before I wrap up. But going back to what the person on the live was saying, that we need to also take into consideration. That is the float. That is the Dasma float. That's the big Dasma float. And let me tell you, that thing looked like it was going to fall. Although it was solid. It was solid. You could tell it was solid, but they were really having. Look at how that thing shaking side to side. I tell you, from me watching there, I was just like, okay. So that essentially, guys, I'm telling you, when we are producing, we have come to a place, and I want to appeal to the government of Dominica. The government of Dominica needs to pump a lot more money into the entertainment sector. And when I say the entertainment sector, I use that as a broad umbrella, because the entertainment sector includes production. We focus on, yes, we have a tourism product, and we have a festivals that fall within our tourism product, but we cannot just focus on what people are going to experience in person. We also have to put some focus on what people are going to experience virtually, because like one of the people on the live said that, and it's not she alone, a few people, like Queen of Sheba said, what she was look her comment. Where is it? Queen of Sheba. Jael, I wish I was looking from online. What I saw was watching online was disappointing, right? So people, and she wasn't the only one. A couple of people messaged me and they tell me, what was the carnival? And they were asking me because they know I will be brutally honest, right? And I was like, it was great opening up carnival. But Jael, I wasn't feeling it online. Like, what was going on? We have multiple different organizations, media houses that carry programming in Dominica. And when I say carry programming, they carry so we have MO News, we have um Carry FM. I know DBS does their own, just to say some, these are like the biggest ones, right? However, I still feel like there is a huge opportunity to focus on the experience that people on the outside are going to get. Because by what I when I went back and I viewed online, like I actually stayed up until 1 o'clock. I watched some of the online stuff. The online stuff had no, like it had no gam in it. MOO had a little bit more gam because I saw some of, like, you got some of what was in, but for the most part, it's very difficult for you to make an assessment of it from an outside perspective watching online. You'll be very much, it's almost like it it's a completely different experience. It really is a completely different experience. And I think some efforts need to be made into how people experience our carnival from outside, because this is something that can be monetized. This is something that can make a lot of money because people can pay to get like a really good production around the carnival if it's done properly. And not just carnival, events on a whole that are broadcasted to the public. I think we need to do better, because at the end of the day, it's a production that like it's another production. It's a product that we're trying to sell. And if we're selling a product, we can't be just selling it to people inside of Dominica. We have to sell it to people outside so people can want to come. And just by looking at it online, you'd be like, Bonjour, like it's not looking all that good. But in person, let me tell you, that shit was good. In person, that was the bomb.com. Okay? So those of you who are not there, Falfat can take all the honor, so, but it was good. I jumped up behind Van from the corner of Independence. I can't tell you the last time I jumped up behind Van. From the corner of Independence Street until we reach the Bayfront, I jumped in behind Van. Okay? It was a great time. I want to say kudos to DFC. All your customers are getting plenty quotes from me, but kudos. I want to big up my girl Ayodeli, who is the new festival and events manager. I can't give her all, but she kind of give me a cold shoulder there last night. I don't know if her head was hot, but big up to you, Ayodeli. You did a fantastic job. I felt like it was well executed in terms of, the way things were done on the road. I felt every single thing. There was music. There was no lull. You're not wondering what's happening next. You were like entertained throughout. So big up one time to them for putting that down. It rocked in person. You see Kendra saying that I enjoyed myself. Where is it? Let's see. So let's see. So Gilles saying, happy you're doing this review, Jay. It really wasn't as impressive online, but now I am feeling it. You see? This opening of Carnival, somebody said Ridge was good as well. I didn't see Ridge. Kendra, I didn't see Ridge. This opening of Carnival was impressive. It was really good. That's what Mimi Piper is saying. Queen of Sugar is saying, for real, it really looked different viewing online. So I'm not talking out of my backside. I know what I'm saying, right? Somebody's saying, Natasha Lawrence is saying that's true signal. Shock them. Somebody else is saying, thank you for the review. Signal was lit. Edgar is saying excellent review. Edgar, I can't be biased. Hard for me to be biased. If it's a spade, I'm not going to say it's a hat. If it's a spade, it's a spade. If it's good, I say good. See Pabo Mokezi Pabo. Trinidad situation should have been an opportunity for us in. I don't know what you're talking about, what you're referring to. I'm trying to see. Emo did well coverage. Emo, big up to you, Emo. You didn't miss anything. Yes. So I saw Emo people, like some of the things I saw, like they were in the crowd. So you got to feel it a bit more. And I think that is something that we're lacking in terms of the production that we put on. Who else? Let me see. We need to promote. Oh yes, thank you very much for bringing that up. We need to promote it as a safe. There were a few fights. I tell you, but there were nothing that wasn't handled quickly. When I tell you quickly, Dominica's Carnival is the safest carnival that I've ever been to. It's the carnival where I don't have to look over my shoulder. It's a carnival where I feel completely and utterly safe, right? You can dance, even the police stand up, and let me tell you, I was troubling them. Officers, I was troubling them. I come up to them, I come in front of them, I dance with them. I was traveling there. Oh, police officers during Carnival, they're probably the best when it comes to that. They know how to keep the crowd under control. They do their due diligence. Say one, say two, for the rest of the 365, for the 363 days of the year. They Victoria is saying it sure looked different online. News did a really great job by trying to give us clip of everything happening at the time. Somebody is saying here, Ivadni, big up to Mava as well. Yes, Mava, big up to you, my girl. Mava, I saw Mava, on Piper's Step. I mean, Mava knows what they know what they're doing. They've been doing this for years, and they see one of the things that I want to encourage them to do is continue to look outside, see what's happening outside. Continue to look outside, and if all you don't want to use people on the inside, or you can go outside and find them. When it comes to productions and stuff. Somebody's saying, Mayo is saying, Jill, I agree with you because at some point watching the floats go by and seeing the rusty galvanized as a background was very disappointing. Good, I saw that. I was just like, oh my god, like it making Dominica look like as if we living in like in the ghetto. Like at some point it looked like that. I'm not going to lie. You are so completely right, Mayo, Francis. Although the weather wasn't bright, Candy Hamilton was saying it was bright and creamy on the road. It was definitely bright and creamy on the road. Let's see. Other comments before I wrap that. In spite of the weather, people really came out and did their thing. Definitely, they did their thing. Congrats to the folks on the road, Charlene White Christian, for yes. Charlene, thank you for letting me bringing that out there. I don't know everybody in the organization, so I'm just giving a review as a regular viewer, a regular person that's coming in. But thank you for adding that. Congrats to the road committee, that is Charlene and her committee for putting the parade together and keeping the parade going. Fantastic job to all of you, Charlene. Great job, guys. Who else? Any other comments that I can think? Next year, Natasha said next year she wants to see Jael's float. Let me tell you, I don't think I want to have a float. I think I need to be able to capture it. Am I going to review for you, Natasha, if I have a float? Or am I going to review? Now I have to be on my float, jabberizing the thing. I cannot have a float. How I gonna do that? And Mom Ivadi says the cruise tourists had a great time. I could tell they were having a great time. They didn't want to move. They were stick there like water. Well, that's it, guys, for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the opening of Carnival. This is only I plan to be at as many events as I can. I hope that I can bring you guys excerpts from all of the different events that I go to. I can't promise this is always going to be the format, but I will do my utmost best to bring it for you, to bring it to you in this format where you get to see, you get to see the different things from carnivals or from the different events that are going to be happening over the season. I hope that I can give that to you throughout. Obviously, if you invite me to your event and I come, I'm going to review it. I'm not going to be biased. I am here. Somebody says, I love this program today. You're really giving a good view. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you, Charlene. I try my best. Today, when you like it, Charlene, you don't like it other times when I just give quest. Charlene, I give it as it is. I don't know. No chaser. I give it to you on the rocks with my tequila. On the freaking rocks, I have to give it to them. Right? Talking about tequila, I need to drink some water. Let me hydrate. I'm gonna try to give it to y'all as it happens, and I want to encourage y'all to show your support. Make sure when I come on, you share the live, and hopefully I can bring you these exciting coverage throughout the carnival season. I am getting out of here. I'm saying good day and goodbye for today. Until next time. Bye bye.